It's been a pleasure. I haven't been here for the past maybe 2-3 years. Not on purpose. يعني I shifted زي ما يقولوا career quite a bit. But now I'm back because I want to tell you something. I want to give you a story. And that story is very important. And this morning I met a couple of the faces and nice people from the industry as well. And we spoke about what research is and what research is not. And what do we need in Saudi Arabia to actually become the research that's yes, and try to work toward the next على قولهم future, the next couple of years. We need to plan it. خلال السنوات القادمة القريبة, this for the next 2-3 years, we really need to jump and leapfrog what's happening and meet what other people around the globe is doing. يمكن في agenda, you probably will see a different title for my presentation. But I actually changed the title to this, and I'm going to allude to the title itself during the presentation and also for the discussion. I titled it as Medical Research in Saudi Arabia, Future Perspective. Because if you don't know where you are, you're probably going to have some challenges moving forward. It's important also to understand how people look at Saudi Arabia from a research perspective. We say we have the best, I'm not going to say, we have the best manpower, we have the best capability and capacity and infrastructure available in the country, yet we're not actually capitalizing, we're not seeing the fruit of all of this. We probably need to ask ourselves some questions. And I want to address some of those here on this presentation. Standard slide, and I have to start with my declaration. So whatever you're going to hear is actually Hani Alhashmi. It's not Pfizer. Hani Alhashmi view. طيب والله أبو بدر صح عالية شوية. Can I move? It's okay? Okay? تمام. So benchmarking is very important. So we're part of the G20. And if we're going to benchmark ourselves in research, it's very important to say, compared to G20, this is how do we look like. I'll show you what case in G20 also. How does that actually look like? And at the very last is actually where I'm going to say how the industry collaborate with actually the research ecosystem in general, and what are we doing here in Saudi Arabia. And I'm hoping that also we can also build on that and start talking more about what partnership equals to and what collaboration is equal to. طيب. So this is G20. Huh? This is what happens when you use different system in terms of preparing the slide. Huh? Slide from Mac, going to PowerPoint presentation in Windows. Life is not the same. So you really need to focus on a couple of things. So what I'm trying to say in this slide, I wanted to go back and look at the scorecard for research, G20, 2022. It actually gets published every year. And I've been looking at this actually scorecard for the past couple of years. And I can tell you a few things. I summarize a few points of that I think is important. Like it's actually, if you're in research industry, this is something that you really need to have a look at every year. But it speaks about so many things. One of them is actually the number of publications, the patents, and the impact of the patents that's happened in the G20 per country within the G20. I focused here on two things. Patent, and I'm showing you 2 years. I did not put the 2022 because I trust that you're going to go back and look at the document and find out where we are at this in 2022. 2023 is not out. So population base, we're actually number 18. Patent, we rank number 14. If you actually do the kind of ratio to population, we're number 12. So we still have some place to grow. We're actually, a little bit, we're actually moving in that ladder. So you're going to see the number of patents, for example, 6,000 in 2020. If you go to 2021, it became 7,000. We jumped one step in terms of the ratio. So we're moving slowly, but the patent need to be translated into commercializable product. So having a patent is something, but having a patent of value to the society is something else. But that's still very low. Publication. So this is 2020. Again, in terms of publication, we're number 17. This was 2020. It improved slightly, 2021. And I tell you, it actually improved also in 2022. But the question is the quality of the publication. So this is the summary of the card. So this is pretty much what I got out of that for Saudi Arabia. Publication is improving. You need to maximize it. We need to maximize it. Impact profile reflected على policy. Again, it's not that strong. 20% of the paper are domestic and relatively low impact at the global level. The research has not yet, so this is what I was saying. So we actually do research, we actually have patents, but does it actually impact the society? It's not at that level. Output per discipline is improving. This equals to not only medical, but they look at medical, biotechnology, they look at all those aspects, and it is improving. This was a great thing that happened last year. It tells you that the leadership of the country is actually looking at research from a different perspective. They want actually to rank us all the way up, and that's why it's been led by the Crown Prince himself. And they're actually very focused on what they want. Within the next 5 years, Saudi Arabia has to be something else at a level of G20. So we're expecting that we're going to be in the top 5. That is going to happen in 5 years. So I'll tell you the story. This is the part that I wanted to share with you. So the story that I wanted to say, moving from the clinical side to the industry side, we wanted to make sure that we align with the vision of the government. What exactly is needed? Very clear. We're an oil-based economy, and the leadership wants to move from an oil-based to a knowledge-based economy. So that's the alignment that needed to happen. Yes, we are actually in the pharmaceutical industry. People would think, well, maybe that's not your area. But the truth of the matter is, it is our area. Pharma industry, and I'm trying to say, before joining pharma industry, I did not know much. I thought I know a lot about pharma industry. But the truth of the matter, I did not know much. I knew very little, just scratching the surface. But the industry itself is actually trying to, and I was trying to show some slide here. So everything that we're trying to do is actually support patients. Research support patients. We're focused on research that support patients, and we want to focus on research that support local patients. So whatever we're doing now as a research is a global research. We're supporting the global population and the global citizen. But we want to do something for the local patients. So this is a very common slide. I'm sure everybody have seen it. This is actually in the document of the Vision 2030 for the government we published about a couple of years ago. And it talks about vibrant society, thriving economy, ambitious nation. And they have very clear vision. 12 vision realization program. They want to achieve this by 2030. So we looked at our mandate, and I'm speaking this is from Pfizer. We wanted to increase local data generation. We wanted to actually position Saudi Arabia as one of the leaders in terms of research. Now, I'm not going to say at the level of the region. I wanted to actually at the level of the global look as well. So we want to improve access as well by earlier introduction into innovative medicine in the country, and the clinical research and practice. So Pfizer came with the concept of Pfizer Scientific Institute. It's actually a very new concept in Saudi Arabia. I would say also it's a very new concept in the market. And the whole idea is just to make sure that we really speak in science. We're not speaking, yes, there is actually a commercial side of the organization, but even the commercial side of the organization speaks science. The currency that we're using with everybody now is science and science only. Because we know if we do that, we're actually aligning with the vision, and we're supporting patients as well. So what is this concept? Has 3 pillars, and it's not very difficult. So we want to support real-world evidence generation. We want to support clinical research and clinical trials and education of HCPs. And I'll give you a few examples what have we done over the last year. So with this project, we've done a lot of projects, many projects. One of them is actually basically with Kmark itself. And the whole idea is to support the ecosystem, not support a single entity or single organization. But we're working in this particular project with the Saudi NIH, with Kmark, with Ministry of Health, King Saud, with the Hayat Saudi Saudi Commission for Health Specialties. So we're trying to build this kind of ecosystem and networking with everybody. But on top of that, we generated data, local data. So in Saudi Arabia, you have the largest sickle cell registry on earth, the largest, has almost 24,000 patients. This is actually, if you ask me, I really would love to go back to to the clinic and start working with the registry. It has 24,000 patients with variables, the whole spectrum. The largest registry on earth before this was 13,000. This is the largest registry. You're sitting on a gold. You can definitely go to this registry, get access to it from the Ministry of Health, and just publish. Ministry of Health did not publish anything out of it yet. I'm not sure if they're planning, and this is the line that sits between us and them. We're supporting the idea, execution happened at the other end. But now this is available. Researchers should be able to take this and actually translate it into paper. And I'll speak about a personal experience in a small patient population. I had 60 patients multiple myeloma 10 years ago. I came out with at least 11 publications from the 60. Myself. 23,000. I'm sure you can get out of this thousands of publications. It's available. All the data set are clean. It's actually going to continue again for another 2 years. So whoever wants to do that, I'm sure the industry is happy to support with that. Other thing that we do for the patients, we do a lot of campaigns for disease awareness. We want to make sure the patients are doing the right things, and we're part of that community. This was one of the campaigns that was done last year. It was supported by Pfizer as well. Huge campaign. We do a lot of education. So this was accredited by Royal College of England. It's a 1-year program, 60 HCPs. They were actually doing this for medical writing and clinical trial skills. So all of them graduated this year. This is actually continuous. So the industry is trying to actually improve a lot of things from experience, skills, networking. It's not only financial, but also non-financial things as well. So this is my last slide. And I wanted to hear from the group. I wanted to start with the questions. Have enough time?
Yes, you have.
For the question is basically, what exactly do you think the industry is doing, and what do you really want the industry to do? And this is coming from somebody who's leading the industry here in Saudi Arabia, at least at the Pfizer level. Because this actually gap, unless we close it, we're not going to be able to work. We speak a lot, and action, unfortunately, is lacking because the understanding sometimes is at different level. I have many examples. We're working with King Saud. We have so many things that we're going to do. Communication was actually far away. It's coming closer now. It's science. We speak, the currency is science. We're not speaking about anything else. If there is any